Hi all, this is Will C here, and I'm here with the third video of WWE WWF What Ifs. And today's topic will be, what if Lex Luger decided to sign with the WWF? So instead of going to Nitro, WCW, and creating that big moment on Nitro, what if he decided to stay put and stay in the World Wrestling Federation? So I'm making a little video here to give my opinions or how I would have booked Luger if he would have stayed put in the WWF. So we're going to say he re-signs for a 2-year deal. Let's say Vince keeps him for 2 years. And going back to 95, Luger had no momentum. I mean, none. He wasn't on King of the Ring. He couldn't win the tag belts with the Bulldog at SummerSlam 95. He had a run-in at SummerSlam. He wasn't booked in a match on that show. He had no programs, no direction. Luger was just there. He was just a body. But let's say he stays still. Let's say he stays for the sake of, paycheck, steady work, whatever. Luger's staying here in the WWF. So step one for me would be to shred the USA gimmick. Gotta go back to being a heel. Gotta get something rolling for him. He can just do promos blaming the fans that he should have been the guy, he should have been your hero. I think that works. And definitely step two, back to the steel forearm knockouts, knocking people out again, just like he did in 93. It worked, people didn't like it. Knocking out the heroes, nothing wrong with that. And so my first step for Luger, he would be entering the 1996 Royal Rumble. And he comes in early, probably somewhere around 5 or 6. And this is the Royal Rumble where Jake the Snake Roberts makes his return. And that was a great moment. Jake got a great ovation. Go back and watch that. Jake's Rumble 96 return. The fans were genuinely excited to see him, myself included. So early in the Rumble, I'd have, for a bit of a shocker, a bit of a spoiler, Jake eliminates Luger early. And Luger's very irate about it. And this would lead to a short program between Jake and Luger, and who'd be a better target for a new narcissist heel Lex Luger than a washed-up WWF legend like Jake. I mean, Jake was the complete opposite of Luger. He was not a body. He was, So that would be my first in your house bout for for Luger, February 96, and I'd have Luger go over Jake there in a short opener. I just think Jake would be the perfect guy to help get a Luger heel turn off the ground and maybe get him a little bit of traction. And then with this heel turn, I mean, I would have him obviously start harassing women, trying to sexually hook up with women. And this could lead to right around the time around WrestleMania 12 when Sable and Mark Mero debuted. And what a more hotter tamale than Sable to chase. So Sable becomes the apple of his eye. And that could lead to a mid-96 feud, trade some back and forth victories with Mark Mero. And I think two different styles. I think they provide good matches. And yeah, I think they could have traded victories, had a little program there. And I think it would get over. I think Luger could really try to seduce Sable, and it could be fun. And then through the summer and fall of 96, I think I would, don't I really have much for Luger. I think I could maybe see him just picking up wins and knockouts over guys like Savio Vega, Sparkplug Holly, Henry Godwin, guys like that. And then I would have him again in the Rumble 97, and I'd actually have him eliminate Rocky Maivia. That'd be probably his one big elimination in the Royal Rumble match. And As you know, in February '97, Rocky Maivia, Raw, captures his first Intercontinental title from Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And you could set up Rocky and Luger for the February In Your House Final Four pay-per-view and WrestleMania 13. I think Rocky would definitely benefit from a veteran like Luger, and I think Luger would be a good guy. Maybe that Rocky Maivia wouldn't get booed so quickly. That we'd like to see, I think Rocky and Luger could provide some really good matchups. Interesting diversity in styles there. Yeah, so I'd have Luger and Rocky. And Rocky would go over both times, In Your House and WrestleMania 13. And of course, keeping with the knockouts there, I'd have Luger KO the old man there, Rocky Johnson. He came out at the end of WrestleMania 13 match when he fought the Sultan. I think I would have Luger knock out Rocky Johnson backstage there, leading up some more heat for the Intercontinental title bout. So, yeah, Rocky goes over Luger there. And I think for the finish, I would have Luger do that knockout forearm, and Rocky would reverse him, cradle him, small package, 1, 2, 3. Rocky retains the Intercontinental title. Then after the bout, Luger knocks Rocky out. And then after WrestleMania 13, I'd have Luger helping out another newcomer to the World Wrestling Federation, and I'd throw him in a feud with Ken Shamrock. I think he would help Ken transition well into pro wrestling, and I'd have segments on Raw where he's laying out Shamrock for a couple weeks in a row. But the thing is, the commentators keep pushing. You cannot knock Shamrock out. No matter how hard he hit him with that metal plate in his arm, Shamrock could not be knocked out cold. Leave him laying, check, leave him stunned, check, but not knock him out. And I think Shamrock would benefit from working with a veteran too, like Luger, and that could lead to their first pay-per-view bout In Your House Final Four. I'd have Shamrock beat Luger with the ankle lock. I think that'd be a good first start for Ken. And then I'd probably give him a break from TV somewhere around mid-1997. I think maybe around May or June of '97. I think I would give him a break from TV, maybe just have him do live events, and then bring him back around June, July '97, because that to me is the most fun storyline in WWF history. You got the US versus Canada. And of course, Lex Luger is going to be on Team USA, and you got to bring the whole US gear back. You got to bring the Lex Express back. You got to bring the full garb, American garb. And so he'd definitely be a part of the 10-man tag match in Your House, Canadian Stampede. So there's his first pay-per-view main event, so that'll be a good payday. And man, how great would his heel heat be in Calgary at that pay-per-view, and all the Raws when we go back and forth across the border there. Man, and I think the American fans would have embraced him too. I think they would have cheered Lex at this time again, and I think Luger would have been a pretty big part and had a pretty big role in the 1997 Battle of North America there. And I'd have him in bouts with Owen Hart over the Intercontinental title until Stone Cold was ready to come back at Survivor Series there. And Luger would be having main events. Brett, Owen, Bulldog. You could play off the Allied Powers history of the Bulldog in the past. I think it'd be great. And, well, that's where I'm going to sign off. Let me know how you think... 2 more years of Lex Luger in the WWF would have played out. I think it could have been interesting. I think it could have been fun. Maybe not as an iconic, maybe none of those would have been as iconic moments as his debut on Nitro, but I think Luger still could have been a good contributing piece to the WWF puzzle for those 2 years of '96 and especially '97. thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, how you think Lex would be used. Yeah, I'd like to know how you think they would have used him or how you would have used him. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.